Oh, we don't want you that way. We want you well. And that's why we have Dr. Mimi Ghosh here to answer your questions. She's from the American Health Network and OSU, and she comes in periodically to help us out. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
We have a phone call to get to first today, all right? Mary is in Hocking County. Mary, you have a question for Dr. Ghosh. Go ahead.
I do. Thank you for taking this call. I have had ongoing problems, I don't know, stomach, whatever, for many, many, many years. And I have an appointment in a couple weeks. I think it may be celiac disease. But I guess my question for you is, are there tests that can detect celiac disease?
Okay, great question. There's a lot more dialogue on celiac disease now than there was 10 years ago. It's actually a condition of the small intestine. It's an immune response to the small intestine to exactly a product called gluten. And gluten is found in wheat, it's found in barley, and it's found in rye. So a lot of breads and pastas and things like that cause its immune response, which in turn can cause nausea, bloating, diarrhea, just people not feeling well. And it can be going on and off for many years before anything's detected.
Oh, wow.
And although there's more dialogue on it, there really isn't that much more in testing than there was 10 years ago. There is a blood test. It's called the anti-gliadin antibody, which is a serum blood test. It's okay. It gives you a little direction. A lot of the gastroenterologists will do what's called an endoscopy, and that is a test to go down the throat and look at the stomach. But again, there's not a lot that goes straight into the small intestine. So we always tell our patients that if you're thinking that it might be celiac, do the test at home, which is 2 weeks, no gluten. So no barley, no rye, no nothing. And that's actually harder than you think, because most products will have it somewhere in the ingredients. It may not be obvious like it is with a bread product or with pasta, but go to Whole Foods or go somewhere where they actually have entire gluten-free aisles and buy something and try it. And actually in a lot of restaurants now and places that you go to buy food, there's a lot of places that'll say this is gluten-free. So you can buy pizzas, you can buy a lot of things, not be completely deprived, so it's not as hard a test as you think, but it's probably the best way to get an idea if you're going in the right direction.
Why is it we never heard of gluten? I mean, and it was not a big thing to talk about.
In just the past few years, really,
I don't know. I think there's just been more people that have been doing their reading, and people are more engaged in their health care and their well-being, and they're coming in with this information. A lot of my patients, like Mary, will come in saying, I'm thinking about this, because they've done their own research. So possibly just having internet access and this kind of thing has been helpful for people to become more knowledgeable and to ask the right questions. So good question.
I hope, Mary, that helps. Thank you for your call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I've noticed that too. Even at the grocery store, they'll have like the little gluten-free symbol on a lot of products, so you know.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer. It was really hard for people for a long time to find anything, and so they're basically just having vegetables and meat products, and they were ending up actually having some deficiencies from not having certain foods. So now it's nice that they actually have alternatives that taste just as good.
Cool.
So says you.
I'm lying. It's not that good, but it's better than it used to be. Let's put it that way.
Do you want to do Facebook? Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a question from our Facebook page. Now, Ida asks, and I actually, like a lot of folks here in Central Ohio, always deal with this. Ida wants to know, what's a good home remedy for sinus infections?
Okay, we love this question because we don't want people running to the doctor the first time they think they have a sinus infection within 24 hours and ask for antibiotics, because that's really your last line of treatment, not the first line. So we want to look at what kind of things are triggers for a sinus infection, and probably the number one is allergies. So using an antihistamine will definitely help with a runny nose and the itchy eyes. So that's number one. Moist air is good, so a steam bath and just breathing that in is helpful. And then there's some really neat products over the counter like sinus irrigation. It's a saline-based product that you squirt up your nose.
Is that the neti pot thing?
That's another one. Neti pot is where the fluid goes up one nostril and out the other. A little bit controversial. Some people love it, some people hate it, but it does work. I mean, it clears things out really nicely.
Did it once, I'll never do it again.
Maybe not for everybody.
I love it, and it does seem to work.
If you like it, you love it.
I gag.
Maybe not for you, possibly. And then anything that breaks up mucus. So, Mucinex, all these expectorants are great. And then drinking lots of water also breaks it up. So do the basic common stuff. And then, Tylenol helps with fever and body aches and that kind of thing. And if 5 to 7 days you're not getting any better, or if you're getting worse, or if you have other medical conditions that could possibly make this worse for you, then go in and see your physician, and we can evaluate if there's anything else to do. You can do something to make yourself feel better, which is really what people want, is to feel better quicker. So if you can...
talked about, too, like with the antibiotics being the last line of defense, because if you take them too frequently, then is that true that your body can get used to them?
Well, basically the bacteria become resistant if you overuse the antibiotics. And most most sinus infections and bronchial infections are viral. They're caused by a virus, not a bacteria. And antibiotics don't treat a virus, they only treat bacteria. So you're basically putting antibiotics into the wrong setup, and it's creating, resistance, and it also messes up with your body and your system.
Right.
All the flora in your gastrointestinal tract get affected by too many antibiotics, so people end up getting sicker from taking the antibiotics sometimes. So we want to be really judicious.
Pete, how's your flora, honey?
That's nice.
Is it okay?
It's party talk.
I mean, you know your medicine, obviously, and you also make cute babies. Come here, guys, real quick.
Hey, guys.
Come here, real quick. Do you care if they waved everybody?
Oh, they
Hey,
love it.
just
Look
right
at
over
her
there, camera two.
adorable sons
Come in
right
front
These are your
here.
sons. What are their names?
This is Joshua, he's 10, and this is Jacob, he's 7.
Joshua and Jacob. Hey, guys.
Your mom's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're
Pretty
welcome.
cool. You guys think you're going to be doctors one day, too?
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
That's going to be expensive.
So keep Dr. Ghosh in business,
Yes.
will you?
Yeah,
is.
right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.